What's up, everybody? Welcome to the main card minute all plus money 10-minute bet breakdown for UFC Vegas 89. Amanda Ribas versus Rose Namajunas. We're going to break down all the fights on the main card. I'll give you guys my bets, and we'll even throw in a few bonus bets for each fight. So let's get to it. First fight of the night, we got Fernando Padilla taking on Luis Pajuelo. So Padilla comes in here 15-5. Two fights already in the UFC. Did win his UFC debut by knocking out Juicy J in the first round. Looked damn good doing it. Did lose his last fight, though, to Kyle Nelson by decision. Kind of seems like everyone's losing to Kyle Nelson by decision, though, so not the worst loss. Luis Puello, on the other hand, comes in off Contender Series, got the knockout there in under 4 minutes. The dude is 8-1 with 7 wins by KO. Padilla, though, never been finished in those 20 fights. So it's one of those, do you think Puello can finish him? Do you think Padilla can last long enough? You think Padilla can finish him? There's too many variables here, and I don't really like any of the outcomes. So I'm going to take the over 1.5. I think Padilla's toughness alone and the fact that it's Puello's debut could factor into this fight starting a little slow, going a little long. So over 1.5 in this is minus 220. We're going to parlay it with something else later, not taking it alone. If you guys are looking for something to take alone, though, a nice fat single, Pajuelo by KO is plus 315. I know Padilla's never been finished, but Pajuelo pretty much only finishes his fights by KO. So that seems like really solid value there. Padilla by finish, maybe Puello's kind of a scrub. You know, Padilla did fight Dan Ige and Spike Carlisle on his way to the UFC. So he had solid competition on his way up. If you think he's going to get it done by finish, that's plus 140. And if you guys just think both guys are tough, which they are, they've both never been finished, and it's going to go long, fight to go the distance is plus 150. Solid value on all those. Up next, we got Billy Quarantillo, aka Billy Q, taking on Youssef Zalal. So Billy Q, solid man, has alternated wins and losses in his last 7. But listen to these losses: Edson Barboza, Shane Burgos, and Gavin Tucker. All solid. Those wins. I already just mentioned Kyle Nelson and Spike Carlisle in the last fight. He beat both of them. He beat Mowgli Benitez. He beat Alex Hernandez. And he just beat Damon Jackson. All solid wins. Zalal, on the other hand. Dude started his UFC career back in 2020, 3-0, 3 decisions. Then he goes on, loses 3 in a row. Granted, to Ilya Taporia, Seungwoo Choi, and Sean Woodson, all solid opponents. Then he gets in a draw with Damon Blackshear, so he gets cut. 3-1 in his stint in the UFC. Gets cut, goes on the regional scene, gets 3 first-round finishes. Probably the only reason he's getting the call back is because Billy Q had like 2 different opponents drop out of this fight. Zalal is taking this fight on 13 days' notice. I think that's going to be a huge factor here. I was already favoring Billy as soon as they announced it, but you factor in the short notice. I'm definitely favoring Billy. I'm going to take him money line here. He's minus 135. We're going to parlay it with that over 1.5 from that first fight. And that gets us a nice plus 153. If you guys are looking for any other action on this fight, Billy by decision, because Zalal has never been finished, plus 130. But if you do think Billy can get the finish, that's plus 325. Really solid value on both of those. Up next, we got Payton Talbott taking on Cameron Saaiman. Payton Talbott has kind of looked like a killer, man. He's 7-0 with 6 of those coming by finish. But his last fight against Nick Aguirre, granted, he got the finish in the 3rd round, but I feel like it started so slow that I feel the right opponent against him could steal a round or 2 early and win a decision against him, which is exactly what I'm going to do with Cameron Saaiman. Cameron Saaiman is 9-1. He's got 6 KOs, but his lone loss by decision to C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez, who, if you guys don't remember last week, fluky decision, but did get the decision over Bulgarian. Before that, fucking got the decision over Rosas Jr. and Cameron Saaiman. So the dude, Christian Rodriguez, has looked sick. So that I'm just saying that's a solid loss for Cameron Saaiman. Otherwise, Cameron Saaiman has looked dominant. You're going to give me him at dog money here, plus 140. I'm taking it. Trains with DDP too. I'm taking it, man. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He's coming off his first career loss. I think that's a huge factor here. Talbot, on the other hand, again, he's looked dominant, but I don't know, man. There's something, he's starting too slow. Something I don't like there. All right. So again, Saaiman plus 140. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, all of Talbot's 7 career fights have gone over 1.5, and 6 of Saaiman's 10 have gone over 1.5. Over 1.5 is minus 310. Use it as a parlay piece. Don't take it as a single. If you think Talbot's going to get it done by finish, which 6 of his 7 wins have come by finish, that's fucking plus 215, which to me is crazy because I feel like that's how he's going to get it done if he gets it done. And if you think like I think that Cameron Simon's going to steal a decision, that's plus 190. Solid value there. Up next, we got your boy, the golden boy, Edmen Shahbazyan, taking on AJ Dobson. So Edmen was the golden boy, man. If you guys don't remember, he started his UFC career 4-0 with 3 finishes, capped off by knocking out Brad Tavares with that sick head kick. He looked like a future champ, no joke. Then loses 3 in a row. Granted, to Derek Brunson, Jack Hermanson, Nasruddin Imavov. 3 top 15, if not top 10, if not top 5 guys at the time. Okay? Then he goes, rebounds, beats Dalka Lagambula. I can't say that name. Either way, gets it done in the second round there. Did just get knocked out by Fluffy Hernandez in the third round of their fight, though. So he's lost 4 of his last 5, and 3 of those by knockout. AJ Dobson, on the other hand, he's 7-2. Those 2 losses, though, coming in the UFC. 3 fights in the UFC. Jacob Malkoun, Armin Petrosian, and Tafan and Chukwi. He only beat Tafan. He lost to Armin. He lost to Jacob Malkoun. I love Jacob Malkoun. Shout out Australia. But those aren't solid guys to lose to. You know what I mean? And now Edmen, who only loses to top 10 guys, is going to fight you. I like Edmen to rebound here. And I think, honestly, if Edmen doesn't rebound here, he should consider calling it a career despite him only being 26 years old. That's crazy. But, dude, how many? 16 fights? I don't know. Edmen's seen a lot of damage. That's all I'm saying. Either way, I'm taking Edmen here. We're riding with him. He's minus 180. We're going to parlay it with something later. We'll get to it. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, you think it's going to go long, because, by the way, Dobson, never been finished. Over 2.5 is plus 115. But if you think Edmen's going to get it done by finish, which, by the way, 11 of his 12 wins coming by finish, that is also plus 115. So good value on all those. Co-main event, weird co-main event. Karl Williams taking on Justin Tafa. I had to double check it was Justin, not Junior. Yes, it's Justin because he's replacing his brother like his brother did for him a few cards ago, if you guys don't remember that. Anyways, Karl Williams comes in 2-0 in the UFC. If you count Contender Series, he's got a 3rd win there, but all of them are by decision. Okay, that's important. Beat Chase Sherman and Lucas Bresky. Like, Chase Sherman isn't even UFC caliber, if you ask me. So, not the best wins. Justin Tafa doesn't have much of a leg to stand on either as far as wins. Beat Austin Lane, Parker Porter, Harry Hunsucker, Juan Adams. Okay. Not great guys, but at the same time, he's fucking 3-1 in the UFC. Okay. He's unbeaten in his last 4. One of those was a no contest. He got eye poked by Austin Lane. Immediately rematched him, knocked him out in the first round. This is a heavyweight fight, dude. If you're going to give me a heavyweight at plus pretty much anything, I'm going to consider it. You're giving me Justin Tafa at plus 220 here. I am taking it. And by the way, that line has shrunk all the way to plus 150, which just proves how stupid of a line that was in the first place. But anyways, I'm taking Justin Tafa. Him by KO now is even less than I got him money line at. It's plus 185, though. Good value there. And if you think Williams is going to get it done by decision, which, by the way I mentioned, his 3 fights under the UFC banner, including Contender Series, have all gone to decision, that's plus 200. All right, main event, we got Rose Namajunas taking on Amanda Ribas, or I guess Amanda Ribas taking on Rose Namajunas. Either way, Ribas also alternated wins and losses in her last 7, just like Billy Q. Loses to the top competition each time she loses. Macy Barber, Caitlin Chukagian, and Marina Rodriguez. But like, Rose is of that ilk. And I don't care what weight class this is. Rose, sure, was a strawweight her whole career. Did just move up to flyweight, 10-pound advantage, whatever. Amanda Ribas used to be a strawweight too. You know, I don't think this is the craziest leap here. Rose did just lose to Manon Farrow in her flyweight debut, but Farrow is sick point fighter. I don't blame that loss. I think Rose easily gets the rebound here, dude. She's minus 160. We're parlaying that with Edmen. That's plus 153. If you guys are looking for anything else to take on this, the over 4.5 is plus 115, and Rose by decision is plus 220. I think this fight goes long, and I think all of those are great bets. Thanks for watching, guys, and enjoy the fights.